Hello, Bucs fans. We are live here on a Monday night. It's Real Bucs Stock. I'm your host, Michael Plus, joined as always my co-host, Mark Ramirez. And it's a great day to be a Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan because we actually have news. It broke this morning, and I'll just put it on the screen here. As you see, Buccaneers have re-signed Mike Evans to a 2-year deal to avoid free agency, keep him in Tampa, and Buck for life. And this is something, we both, Mark, we talked about it before. Here's the details on the deal. The big number here, 35 million guaranteed. That matches Cooper.
Big doggy.
Exactly. Let the big dog eat. So that number matches Cooper Kupp and his guaranteed money. Makes Mike, I think, the fourth highest paid receiver in the league. And also this is the highest contract for a guy that, is entering age 31, going in on his 11th season. But Mark, I mean, obviously this is great news. It's great news for the Buccaneers, great news for the team. And it's something, I think we all expected, at least the ones who had common sense, right?
Yeah, and there's a lot of people that lack common sense these days, or they just listen to mainstream media. So the wishing well of the Chiefs, of the Ravens, of the Panthers of all teams. I put out a tweet earlier about the wish list that had Mike Evans on there, and on the list was the Falcons and the Panthers. I'm like, yeah, in my head, of course you don't want him. You don't want to play him twice a year, but in my opinion, there ain't no chance in hell he would go over there. Like a guy that's a lifer Buccaneer. Now, so hopefully set in stone. I mean, just 2 years, the way the guy's playing, I don't think 2 years is going to be the end of his career. I mean, let's knock on wood for that. But still, like, I just thought it was hilarious that the Falcons and Panthers were hot coming. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how I felt when I saw that. I read that.
Yeah, I mean, here's a subtweet by Deanna Rossini. She's talking about interest from the Titans, which Mike was never going to Tennessee. The Rams, I could see. I think they would be a scary, option. Obviously, the Chiefs. He wasn't going to New England. You're not going to the Giants. You're not going to the Panthers, Falcons, or Jaguars. So really, Rams or Chiefs, I think, was intriguing. I think he would have been interested in those teams for sure. But obviously, he's loyal to the Buccaneers and made the right choice. Diana, sorry, I pronounced that name wrong. Diana Rossini. But yeah, I mean, we were talking about this last week. I mean, we all thought, Mike was going to be back. Obviously, we were kind of expecting either him or Baker to be the first domino effect. And it makes sense that Mike was that first move because he's, again, the longest tenured. He's probably going to go down as the best Buccaneer of all time when it's all said and done. And, I think it's awesome that Jason Light, one of the great GMs in this league, him and Mike Greenberg found a way to come to this decision. And I think it's a deal that was best for both sides. And we'll see what that cap number is going to be in a couple of days. I'm sure they added some void years on there to help out the cap hit for this year. And, next is probably going to be Antoine Winfield. And then we'll see, Baker's probably going to follow, I think, later this week. So yeah, it's just, this is what this team does. They find ways to keep their core players together. And we're seeing that come to fruition once again.
Yeah. I mean, speaking of the contract, I think they said 29 million guaranteed the first year.
And
then it was, I guess it's 35 million guaranteed. So, I mean, you're pretty much doing it all in this first year.
Right. Yeah.
Younger year, right? So just throw it all out there. And then, yeah. And I think Corey Hall said it best. Well deserved. After this contract, you can just do 1 year deals, like how Monte David did, is doing. Randy Barber did back in the day. I mean, I love that his immediate Instagram post after too, like, I'm fucking leaving.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, this is how I do feel. And he called up his own agent, said, no, I want to be a Buck for life, make this damn thing happen last night. And then this morning we get it immediately. So you knew Mike wanted it. The team wanted it. And they just got it done. And to those on ESPN or whatever big outlet you watch that think it wasn't a good deal, that's because they're piss poor and sour that it's not going to a bigger market team. Like the fact that they put the Patriots on there, who in the right mind would go there right now? There's nothing there. And then the rumors of Baker Mayfield going there, You went to a team, you literally openly said, "This organization knows how to win from the top down, they know what the hell they're doing."
Right.
Players around there, the culture, everything about them, selfless, wanting just to win, and they did do that. Why the
Mhm.
heck go to a team where they just fire their coach, they don't have a Hall of Fame coach no more, they're
Right.
starting a new culture, there's no quarterback, there's no weapons, there's no running backs, they're just throwing shit at the fan. Come on.
Mhm. Yeah, starting over.
It just blows my mind, some of these mainstream media folks, their hot takes, like, they don't really
Mhm.
look at the whole damn thing, and
Yeah, I mean,
it
they
is
they try yeah, they try to throw out dollar amounts and, like, yeah, Patriots have a bunch of cap space, sure. They could probably offer Baker a lot of money, but at the end of the day, it's not all about money. I think you're seeing that with these guys, like, you have to have a good situation where this guy can succeed. And obviously, the Buccaneers were that last year where he had probably his best season of his career. And so, why we first of all that, and then also, why would you leave a great place like Tampa where weather is great? You have your family settled down here. You're about to have a child as well, and you're establishing yourself. You're establishing your roots down here. If the Bucks offer, a fair deal, like he's going to be back, and I would expect that contract to be announced probably by Wednesday, Thursday at the latest. I think we get a deal done, and we'll see what happens with Antoine tomorrow. He'll probably get a contract. Either he will or he'll be franchise tagged. So these guys are coming back, and I think it just shows to what Jason Light and his team have built here. It shows that these guys are loyal to him first and foremost because they understand what he's going to go out there and get for them as far as being fair and having a team friendly deal, but also making sure these guys are taken care of. And I think that's very important. And then also, playing for a coach like Todd Bowles, who's a player's coach, I think it makes a lot of sense for these guys wanting to be here. And I think that's the biggest thing of this equation.
Yeah, I mean, but also I just wanted I know we're throwing a lot of names and numbers and stuff.
Right.
Mike Evans truly is deserving of everything he got.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
That was a
pros
great contract for both sides. I mean, it's a win-win situation.
and just for his play on the field, his services and everything he does off the field,
Mhm.
there's no better player that could have gotten that amount of money. And he
Right.
probably could have gotten more if on the open market, dare I say, a Panthers or Falcons just throw the
Yeah.
whole truck at him, or how the Patriots have all this money. Yeah, he probably could have gotten more. So these
Mhm.
idiots that are saying, "Oh, stupid contract by the butt." No, this is
Mhm.
the market continuously goes up. The didn't you see the salary cap went up, what, almost $30 million?
Yeah.
Teams are just throwing money around.
Right.
This was
Yep.
a this was a team-friendly deal. Like, literally, it's almost every year, the next good guy, doesn't matter if he's the best guy, next
Mhm.
good guy that's a free agent is gonna get the top dollar money. Like, and we've seen this year after year. So you can't tell me that that deal wasn't amazing for both sides. And then the caliber of player Mike Evans is, I don't ever want to hear a, a host of a show belittle him like if he isn't that great of a player. Like,
Mhm.
he is a first ballot Hall of Famer. He's well deserving of that,
Yeah.
not just because of Tom Brady. He was doing this before Tom Brady. He's doing it after Tom Brady. So
Mhm.
he pay him like the player that he is. Like,
Yeah.
I can't believe that people aren't comparing him to like what Gronk is or what
Mhm.
Travis Kelsey is to a certain quarterback, or well, why am I
Right.
bringing up tight ends? But just star receivers that are so
Mhm.
consistently good. It
Yeah.
just blows my mind. Some of these guys that, oh well, Tank Dell, Nico Collins. I mean, what?
Yeah.
What? The
Yeah.
guy's done it
I
10 years.
Yeah, I mean, Mike Evans he's made quarterbacks look good. I mean, he got Johnny Manziel drafted in the first round. I mean, he made Josh McCown look better than he was. He made Mike Glennon look good for a little while. He's done a lot of good things for this franchise, and I think the biggest thing for him is he continues to get better year in year out. He takes better care of his body. He's done a better job of staying healthy, which is good, and he's just continues to add more dynamics to his game, and obviously leading the league in touchdowns last year, that's a big credit to him and what he does. And obviously him and Baker have a great chemistry building, and I think he really likes the scheme he's in. This is a fun scheme for him, and it'll be exciting just to see him continue on. And this contract has him signed till age 32. And he'll be a free agent going into age 33. And you just kind of see where it goes from here. Like you said, we can, extend him once that contract is up, to 1 year contracts or something of that nature. And, if it does start to decline, then you're in a good situation where you can have, a drafted guy that can eventually take over for him, for the future. So I think it sets up for the now, but also sets you up very well for down the road. And that's what you try to do as a general manager. You're always making sure your team is in a good position, but also you give Mike what he wants, and that's an opportunity to retire as a Buccaneer. And I think that's a very big accomplishment for both parties involved.
Oh, huge.
Yeah.
I was trying to find, because I've been seeing on the videos of the Bucs
Mhm.
put out today of his face as a rookie compared to now.
Oh yeah.
He had,
Yeah.
like, the poofy fat kid
Yeah.
face, and
Yeah.
now he's, like, chiseled. Like, he was like a poofy guy when we first
Mhm.
drafted him. Now you can see, like, striations and he looks more svelte, I guess you'll say,
Yeah.
more defined. Like, his body's transformed throughout the years, and he's just getting better, it
Mhm.
seems like. Yeah, you just he's always been the model of consistency, but, yeah, I just wanted to
Yeah.
kinda make a little rant about how truly good he is, how deserving he is, and how yeah, like, we're lucky to have a player of this caliber, but he wants to be here too. It's not just,
Mhm.
"Yeah, pay me only." No, he's been the quiet leader, quiet, just savvy veteran that just gets the job done every week in, week out,
Mhm.
a la Byron Leftwich quoted right there.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And I think, another thing that it shows is that, players want to be here. And I think this makes a destination for, free agents to look at and, potentially come here. So that's awesome. A great move by the Buccaneers. If you guys are just joining us, Buccaneers re-signed Mike Evans. It looks like he's going to be a Buck for life going forward. So huge news there. Obviously, there was a big weekend. I know we just coming off the combine. A lot of things to look at from that perspective. We'll get into that in a little bit. Especially this offensive line group, it's just alien-like
Right.
with the offensive tackles and size and everything. So
Mhm.
yeah, look at Mike, and that's a long
Yeah,
time ago
you're
where
lying too, damn.
yeah, when he was only 20 years old coming into the league. So yeah, crazy what he's accomplished. It seems like that was yesterday, but it's been a long time ago. So yeah, so that's awesome. Obviously, we can dive into the other contracts, but like we said, I think you're going to see Antoine Baker, get locked up to the point where they're both back, and this is just a great start for the offseason. And now you have an offense where Liam Cohen's probably very excited. He's got Mike to work with, and then obviously Chris Godwin still tag teaming with him. You have Trey Palmer. And I think with this move, it pretty much rules out the Buccaneers drafting a receiver in round one.
Yep.
So I think that's great to hear. I think that's the right move. You're going to see a lot of teams draft these receivers because these free agents aren't going to be available. Michael Pittman, not available. T. Higgins, not available. Mike Evans off the board. So maybe these teams get over aggressive and they take a receiver earlier than we might have thought. And yeah, receiver, offensive tackle for sure is definitely going high and often in this upcoming draft.
Yeah, I think they're saying offensive tackle may be the most drafted ever in the first round, and then I think
Yes.
Daniel Jeremiah said most receivers ever taken as a whole in the draft
Right.
because
Yeah.
they're that damn good. And yeah, like what we're talking about it this weekend, every
Mm.
damn time an offensive lineman went up, you're like, that's a freak show. What is
Yeah.
that? Like,
Yeah.
they're all aliens. And then the speed on all these, it's like something that used to be insane. I feel like just 5, 10 years ago is like the norm now. And it's weird.
Mhm.
It's extremely weird.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Krillin says it here. I mean, they're nuts. One was criticized for only being 6'4". I mean, yeah, it's wild. I mean, you just see the size on the offensive tackles. I mean, just the arm length, the athletic ability, the interior offensive linemen are really good as well. And
And they
so
struggle.
Yeah, so it really sets up well for the Buccaneers as far as what they need, especially when you look at interior offensive line. You look at, on defense with, the edge class and the defensive backs, the safety group, the corners all look really good. A lot of depth there, so that will be exciting. But right now, I mean, we're on the brink of free agency, which is very exciting. That happens next week. So it'll be intriguing to see what the Buccaneers do. Obviously, it's going to be focusing on getting their guys back, and let's see if they, maybe venture out and try to get someone for a value deal from outside the organization, and see if they can bring some more value depth. I think that's what we're going to be looking for.
Yeah, depth is the key word. I don't
Yeah.
see any big explosions. Like we talked about it. You're probably leaving because you're not expecting much on day one.
Yeah,
As us
just
guys. So
yeah, just confirmation of us signing the guys that we're going to sign back. And yeah, I think we're just going to see continuation of that moving forward this week. And then I think next week you'll probably hear the news about Levante. I think Levante will obviously get his calls and during the tampering period, and then the Bucs will come back and match whatever his best offer is, and they'll go from there.
well, so here's the next thing. So let's move on from Mike. Even though
Hmm.
he's amazing.
Yeah.
So Antoine Winfield Jr., you're seeing some rumors of his contract,
Right.
upwards of $20 million, 3 years, and that's almost the going rate for the elite of the elite safeties right now, right?
Yeah, Jesse Bates, I think he got something similar to that, didn't he? Or contract wise from Atlanta. So
I think Derwin James got 19 million last year.
right. So I mean, obviously Antoine is deserving of the 20 million. Uh, so I think that could be a case there.
Yeah, I mean, it's a do-it-all safety. Yeah, don't look
Right.
at the size, look at the production and
Hmm.
the scheme, right? So, I mean, I'm perfectly fine with. I mean, you got to spend somewhere. You can't hold
Hmm.
it all in, and then it also matters what is Baker truly getting. That's the number. So, I saw another again mainstream media saying that
Right.
he's not going to take a pay cut. He's not going to take a home discount. Let's see, right?
Right. Yeah.
Uh, I thought Mike was good. Good as gone, right? That's what they're saying.
Yeah, I think Baker understands the situation, and I think he'll get. Um, I wouldn't worry too much about the overall cap number. I think just got to look at the contract structure. What's the guarantees going to be? That's going to be the most important. Obviously, there could be a added void years to help the cap hit, but Baker's going to be back. I think he understands how good he has it here. And really, I mean, why leave? You just got your best receiver back in business, and you can definitely build upon what you guys did last year. And I think that is something to look forward to. And if the Bucs make the right moves this offseason, they should be competing right there with the top teams in the NFC.
Because that's one thing I heard. Like, you always got to hear all the takes, right?
Yeah,
So they're saying signing back Mike, bringing back Baker. You're
right.
not really doing anything. You're staying status quo. What are you good enough just to make the playoffs? That's
Hmm.
not championship football. How do you think with that mindset? I guess. Do you think it's a fair point? Do you think a continuity is a thing that is something? Do you think it's truly just the players aren't good enough, the coaches aren't good enough? What do you think that is when people say, "Oh, you're just bringing back the same guys that can only just get into the playoffs. That's it." What do you think about that take?
Well, I mean, it's yes and no. I mean, like, yeah, I mean, the every season's different. So, you take the Super Bowl team, right? The 2020 team. They brought everyone back in that off season after the Super Bowl championship. And they almost got there again. But guess what? Certain things happen, right? Injuries happen. One guy just left and never looked back. Like he just left the team. And
It's
you know, and things things just went south, but the Buccaneers were still right there. Like they almost made that improbable comeback against the Rams.
Yeah.
You know, if they win that game, probably go back to the Super Bowl, have a chance to two-time win it again. So I think with continuity, I think it's a good thing. I think there's certain upgrades that obviously they're going to try to make. When you look at, and Jason Lights talked about it, adding depth, I think is the big key this offseason, adding good players to where you can either add on to your strengths or find ways to upgrade certain positions like we talked about, left guard, center, tight end, running back, backup, and then on defense, adding another edge or even a defensive lineman that can bring something different. Safety, strong safety, and then you look at, potentially corners changing. Is Carlton Davis going to get traded? I know that was brought up here in the chat earlier. Um, I think there's a good chance of that happening. So it's not going to be necessarily the same team. It never really is. Like, the teams change year to year. So I think you got to look at it from that standpoint. But I understand where those people are coming from. But if I'm going to have to lean one way, I like continuity. So if you have a good nucleus, yeah, you always want to try to build upon that. And also this offense, they're going to be familiar with the scheme. So that's more chances to grow and get better. I feel personally, I think Liam Cohen's an upgrade. We talked about that. And I think it's going to be something to watch this year and see how this offense continue to take steps further than they did last year.
Yeah, I agree with a lot of that. I mean,
Yeah.
because I agree with you again with the Liam Cohen take,
Mhm.
because he's a guy that's actually done it before, so he doesn't have to learn on the go. Yes,
Yeah.
he's gonna learn the players a little bit better, but he at least has a background with Baker.
Mhm.
If you look at the coaches we brought in, like, all of them have experience. I mean, pretty
Yeah.
much it was Brad Idzik and Dave Canales. That was it. And Brad
Right.
Idzik was a very, very young guy. He was, yes, he may be very detail oriented, very good young mind, but it's still he's learning on the go, and he was in an amazing room. Okay, Dave Canales is going from DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett.
Mhm.
Next room, okay, Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, loaded. Now, who the hell is he? You
Yeah.
can't even name one of them. Adam Thielen. Okay, let's see. Is he even? Did he have just a 1 year deal or did he get a 3 year deal? But either way,
Yeah, I think it was 1 year.
a loaded roster of talent to use. Let's see how he
Right.
uses barely anything. But my take on the continuity thing. Look what the Steelers do every year with Mike Tomlin. They're always
Mhm.
competitive. They just need a little bit more to get over the hump. I don't think you throw away a culture that is a winning culture. You're just trying to get a little bit more, is all you're trying to
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
Building through the draft, that's what Jason Light's for. The coaches and the players built together as a family, fighting for each other to win. That's what you're looking for. And then I
Mhm.
also consider look at the guy that's just won 2 championships in a row. Andy Reid. Where was he
Mhm.
before this? He was in
Yeah.
Philadelphia, and he could never win the big game.
Right.
Remember that?
Yeah.
And he got fired for that.
Mhm.
And look what he's doing now. So, what are you really looking for? Just to shit on everything? Just to because it's the cool thing to do? Let's rip the Band-Aid and just kill the person? Uh, I don't know. Like, I think if you're that close, just fix the little things that you messed up that didn't get you to that one point.
Mhm.
Don't tear it all down. And I think that's the
Yeah.
defensive pieces that they need are very few. Offensive pieces, very few. Fix that, limit the mistakes you made, mental errors you
Mhm.
made. Don't turn the ball all over. That's things you can
Yeah.
fix and work on. Injuries
Yeah.
are a whole other thing, but I think the staying in the nucleus and building upon that is what you need to do, and that's where a GM working with the coaches works.
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you look at the teams that were in the playoffs, obviously had success. You look at the team we lost to in Detroit Lions. Obviously, they've had continuity together. They've been together longer. They've had, a stable at quarterback, head coach, offensive coordinator. Those are big things to look at. Obviously, the Buccaneers have not had stability at offensive coordinator, but you bring in a guy that understands the scheme that you're going to be running pretty much similar to what you did last year. Now you're trying to build stability with Baker Mayfield coming back, build that connection even further with his receivers, working further with Trey Palmer to get those deep shots working, things like that. Those are the little things that can be built upon. If you can improve the interior part of the offensive line where Baker can actually step up and have time to navigate his reads, you become better. Run game, all those things factor in. So, you know, that's going to be a huge part of it. But you look at the teams that have success, they've had stability at the key positions, and that's, quarterback, head coach in place, mainly the staff together, right? And then they're just building, they do little tinkering, throughout every offseason. The Chiefs are going to do the same thing this year, right? They're probably going to get rid of Ladarius Sneed, and hell, they could probably trade for Carlton Davis because they like Buccaneers.
Right.
So, there's always going to be those little changes. Hell, even the Chiefs. I mean, they traded away Tyreek Hill. I mean, he was one of the best receivers. He is one of the best receivers in this game, and they made a decision that we can still win without this guy. And guess what? They won 2 Super Bowls without him. It just shows you. If you have certain continuity, you can add some good pieces. And if you had the right culture in place with leaders, and obviously the Buccaneers have that right now, you feel more comfortable bringing in certain guys, whether it's veterans or rookies, to demand, more of them and have guys step up like a Kalijah Cansey, like, Yaya Diaby, and even Cody Box starting all 16 games or 17 games. So you just feel more comfortable with, leaning on guys like that because you have certain things in place already.
And I just we agree a lot on a lot of things, but I mean that it just makes more sense. It's not necessarily
It does. I mean, when's the last time we've seen a team where it was completely gutted or turned over and they had success? Probably the last time we can think of is actually the Buccaneers itself, because the Buccaneers won the Super Bowl in 2002 when John Gruden came in, and he brought in 26 free agents on offense. It was all on offense. He brought in 26 free agents, and of course the Buccaneers went on and won the Super Bowl that year. So, but really, I mean, rarely does that kind of thing work. I mean, maybe the Rams. I mean, I know the Rams brought in Matthew Stafford, but it took them a couple years, right, to win. Or no, I guess they did win in the first year he came there. So, I mean,
but
that's the thing.
Jared Goff is right there.
Right. So really, you can't really find a situation where you got to have some sort of continuity. I think that's a huge part in this league for sure.
Yeah, and it's mainly just one position. I mean, we did that ourselves with Tom Brady.
Yeah.
We signed Tom Brady, won the Super Bowl the next year. Yes, we added Gronk and AB, but AB in midseason, but still, like, there's the one player that changed everything.
Right.
There's not a miraculous change on the team.
Yeah. Exactly.
So, I just some of these theories or takes that I hear, I'm like, what are you?
Right. Ryan Jensen is retired, Charles. So I don't know how he's doing on his knee, but he is retired.
Probably looking at getting a total knee soon.
Yeah, probably a knee replacement. But he retired. So he won't be back.
Which he's what, mid-30s?
Yeah, he was only like 30, I think 33 going this year. So
jeez.
Yeah. Tough blow. But he might be back with the Bucs at some point, maybe coaching or something. Who knows?
Hell, if we draft JPJ, he may be
his mentor. Yeah,
O-line coach, right?
That would be awesome. But I mean, it's just a great start to the offseason. Again, I'll put this up here. I mean, Jason Light, he doesn't get enough credit. John Ledyard talked about him every offseason. He finds a way to get it done. So just great job by him and his staff. And that's another thing. Like, we've had Jason Light for 10 years now. So that's another point into continuity. Like, you understand what the process is, how to add to, your roster, and it's getting better it seems like it's getting better with each year he goes on. So I think that is a big sentiment for him. So
this is my favorite picture of Jason Light right here. This one right here.
That one there. Yeah.
Yeah, I did it.
Yeah.
10 years of Jason Light. I'll take it nonstop. I feel like he just keeps getting better too. Not just the contracts, but his drafting just improves every year after year.
Right. Yeah. Here's a good one.
That was pretty good.
Retweeted. Yeah. This one here.
Literally, as you put up that, I put up that.
Yeah. As chugging a Bud Light. So yeah, it's awesome. But I mean, it sets up everything for the offseason. So I think this is a big move, and now the team can really focus in on, like you said, building through the draft. And we had the combine this weekend, so I guess we can get into that. Just talk a little bit on what we saw. Obviously, we saw record breaking stuff. Xavier Worthy running a 4.21, which is crazy. He's probably going to be first round now for sure with that speed. But there's just a lot of good things. Again, offensive line, I was really focusing on seeing the edge group and the D line group. Obviously, Chop Robinson with good athleticism, 4.4, what was it, 4.48. So a lot of speed, linebackers, Peyton Wilson, draft crush. I love that guy. But yeah, there's a lot of good things to see from just the overall athleticism of the group, and just hear certain guys talk. Obviously, the Buccaneers interview pretty much everybody there. I know that's always the thing. It's like, who did they talk to? Who did they have formals with? They pretty much talked with everyone.
Well, what's crazy is like, look at I don't think they even talked to Kalijah Kancey last year.
Mhm.
They didn't have a
Yeah,
formal interview with him. I think he was
right.
like, "Oh, I was surprised. Yeah, but I'm happy to beat him Bay."
Mhm.
And I think even like Rashad White, like Todd Bowles was mentioning, he's like, "I didn't have an interview with him, but he stopped me while
Yeah,
walking around in the halls." I'm like, "That's cool. Like that's how you make an impression on a coach. Like, oh hey, I know
yeah,
you're Todd Bowles, blah blah blah.
right.
Get at me." Right? So it doesn't necessarily mean who they interview, even though everyone thinks that, oh, well, they talk to him. That's probably the end.
Yeah.
I know it's almost like they do that on purpose just to almost to prove, okay, is our analysis of this guy correct? Oh, okay, yeah.
Mhm.
They're just doing this drone thing again. Okay. Let's move on.
Yeah.
But I mean, I hope not, because they interviewed a lot of people and a lot of them I do like. So let's
Mhm.
see what they do. Like we were talking with the way that things are going to line up. With so many receivers going. Okay, we don't want a receiver. Good, push more players down towards us.
Right.
The tackles are going. We got two pretty damn good tackles right now. Good.
Yep.
Get other players of better position that we value higher for our team. Let them fall
Mhm.
down. And I mean, yes, there's a lot of edge players. Besides the top three, to me, there aren't any really standout guys. And that
Yeah.
brings up to my point of, I guess, positional value, or do you want to get the fourth best guy that's an edge
Mhm.
rusher, or would you want to get like the first best defensive tackle or safety or
Yeah.
what have you, right?
Right. Yeah. Let me answer this question before we get into that. Talking about Cooper BB from Kansas State. I'm not sure if he's going to be a first round pick. I did like how he tested. He did show more athletic ability. He's another guy we're going to have to dig into more, try to get a film study out on him. But yeah, I mean, I think he's locked in somewhere in that top 75
Yeah.
selection. I think he's probably going to be somewhere in the second round. But that's the thing. There's a lot of good interior offensive linemen, which is a great news for the Buccaneers. And Jason Light usually likes to wait on that position, second or third round, usually his go to take him. As you see, the last couple of years, Luke Gedeke and um, Cody Mock. Obviously, Gedeke now at tackle. So that's a great sign. You got both of those guys for the future. And but I'm not sure if he'll sneak into the first round. But you never know. And again, it goes back to what you were saying, Mark. It's like, yeah, I mean, I'm there with you on edge. I think edge is it's tricky because there is some top end edge rushers as far as the top, like what's his name, Turner from Alabama, and then you have Jared Verse, who I think is going to be really good. Latu from UCLA. And then after that, you get into kind of a mixed bag of who you like preference wise. I mean, you have Chop Robinson. I know, people are talking about Darius Robinson. Yeah, we could do a film study on him, but I think he's more of a just seems like he's more of an inside, interior defensive lineman, a guy that's going to be that five tech on your 3-4. I'm not sure if he's an edge quite yet. I mean, what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, he's big, he's got the size.
Yeah,
Now, like he's got 5 tech size.
right.
I
He's
mean,
just
yeah.
very raw as a football player. Again,
Well,
yeah,
because like I mean, I know he's heavier than Yaya, but like Yaya played
Right.
defensive tackle. We moved him out to defensive end.
Yeah.
He showed a lot of explosion and brute strength playing in where was it? Louisville,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, the
And
guy ran up
yeah,
4.5,
yeah, but he was
and
playing defensive tackle too. Think about that.
yeah, and
So,
Darius Robinson didn't test very well. I mean, he ran, I think, he was a 4.9 40.
yeah.
So
But
again,
this
doesn't really yeah,
so like he looks like big size, but and everyone was expecting good testing numbers, but he didn't really look like that on tape. Like I know people want to see a film study on him.
yeah,
I just don't see explosion when you see some
right.
of these guys. Like Yaya, when he hits you, like it's a big impact. Like
Mhm.
same thing Kalijah Canty. There's something to kind of happen. Someone's moving. Vita Vea,
Yeah,
someone's moving.
right,
Um, so I mean, I just didn't see the explosion on him. Yes, he's got all the measurables you want. I think
right.
he's what 6'5", almost 300 pounds as an edge rusher. That's
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
nasty.
Yeah,
Uh,
he's got the long, long arms, big hands. I mean, he has everything you want. It's just he's very raw. Like he didn't really start football until late in his life as far as like high school and then getting into college and actually playing edge. It's been a transition for him. So, yeah, I'm not sure on the edge group, but going to those other positions like you were talking about, I think yeah, defensive tackle. If Johnny Newton's there, at 26, I think that would be a lot of fun, but I I I don't know. I mean, safety I think would be awesome, especially Tyler Nubin. I think that'd be a great fit with Antoine. Obviously, they have chemistry, played a little bit together, went to the same school, so um it's there's potential to trade down. I think that's an option. But then you look at the three interior offensive linemen, Graham Barton, JPJ, or Zach Frazier. All of those guys could be selected by the Bucs, and I wouldn't have any issues with that. And then corner, you could look at corner because corner is always a premium position, and there's a lot of good corners in this class. But it also goes to you're probably going to be picking like the fifth or sixth best corner
yeah,
because the other guys are going to be gone, before you get up.
and yeah, and that remains to be seen what happens with
Mhm.
Carlton Davis, right?
Yeah.
Does that
Yeah.
make us lean towards getting a corner, even though
Right.
Zion McCollum is scratching
Yeah.
at the door, right? I'm ready to be a starter. Let me in, right?
Yeah.
Um,
But, also, I just want to say this, you got to trust your board, whoever the best player is, you want to go with that guy. So if the fifth corner is better than the first rated interior offensive lineman, then maybe you go with that corner. It's just,
no doubt, yeah.
yeah, I mean,
Well,
that has
value,
to go in that has to go into it. But also it's like, what is going to be the best for your team, at this time, you got to think of it that way too.
I mean, I fully agree with that take. I
Yeah.
mean, I mean, if you hear the way they were talking again, Todd Bowles and Jason Light, they both seem like, oh no, they think a good
Mhm.
guy is going to fall to them. And
Right.
it's all the quarterbacks are going to be taken, receivers, offensive linemen. Those are areas we have right now.
Mhm.
So better players, not better players, but like players that would be advantageous for our team to fit our team better are probably going to fall.
Yeah.
If you have a Baker back, a Mike Evans, is back, and your bookends are already there, your offensive linemen are there,
Mhm.
people will fall. And
Yeah.
you're predicting four quarterbacks, probably at least 4 to 5 linemen,
Mhm.
not 4 to 5 receivers. I mean, that's a
Probably
lot.
gonna be like it's probably gonna be like 8 linemen. I
Right?
mean, that's gonna be record
Before
breaking.
26, before
Yeah.
26, I'm saying. So, like,
Yeah.
it like, those players will fall that will fit to what we need. And if
Mhm.
it's a great center, okay, cool. I don't think we'll take a guard in the first round. I just don't
Yeah.
based off of positional value, but then again, you never know. Uh,
Mhm.
receiver, I think, is off the board, so it's either a defensive player who Jason Light does pretty good with,
Mhm.
or an offensive lineman. I don't think you really need anything else because there's no tight end that's gonna make it. Bowers is not gonna make it. Like, I
Right.
we've all gotten if it's still in your mind, let it go.
Mhm.
He's not gonna be there.
Yeah. And the beauty of it is like, let's say one of these like better offensive tackles, make it to your pick, or let's say there's a top receiver like a Brian Thomas Jr. or something like that that are available. it gives you that opportunity to potentially trade down to a team that's looking to come up and get one of those guys ahead of like Buffalo, because Buffalo needs a receiver. They also need offensive linemen. So, maybe you trade down to a couple spots, pick up more picks to help you move around later on. And then you could get like a position like you talked about, safety, or maybe one of those interior offensive linemen that are still available, like a Zach Frazier or Graham Barton, et cetera.
And that's the exciting part about it. Like, we all want to
Mhm.
know what the
Yeah.
pick's going to be, who's signing back, blah blah blah.
Right.
But also, that's the drama of it, where it's exciting. Like, we could potentially
Mhm.
move up, we could move down, we could stay pat. You don't know.
Yeah.
And all I know is I like Jason Knight's track record right now for making the right selection. Even though
Mhm.
initially we would be like, "Oh, how's that gonna fit?" No. Let's see how it works. Let's see how
Mhm.
this molds to this team, because he's been doing pretty damn good the last few drafts, and
Yeah.
there's gonna be starters in there. Are they gonna be top tier? You hope.
Right.
There will be guys that will fit into what we wanna do. He just knows
Mhm.
how to draft good players.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I want to bring up this comment, just talking about like we haven't really discussed this because I don't know if they're going to draft a quarterback, but Spencer Rattler is getting a lot of talk as far as that, that best option to be a third or maybe a fourth round pick, be that value quarterback pick. And it wouldn't surprise me if the Buccaneers do take someone like this. It just depends on how early it's going to be. But also, like we said, if you're able to trade down and get more picks, maybe this is a position they look at. And obviously, with Kyle Trask entering a contract year, so maybe they look at something like this to add to the quarterback room.
And I do agree with him. He reminds me a lot of Baker.
He
Like,
does, yeah,
very
yeah,
live arm, a guy likes to move
same
around,
same size, yep,
like,
yep,
a very fun guy to watch on film,
right,
right? So, yeah, he had a good
yep,
year this year too. He had a good
yep.
receiver as well.
This made me laugh. Yeah, yeah, and that's another one
Learn
I
lesson
that's
learned.
another yeah, that's another deal we expect to get done. McLaughlin, he's gonna get signed as well. Um, Krillin thinks it's gonna be edge, safety, or corner, or a trade down. I think that's, yeah, definitely I can see that for sure. I just hope if they trade down, it's not out of the first round completely because that ruins the draft show that we're live on because that happened to us,
Whoops.
ironically, with the Logan Hall selection. So hopefully that's not the case this year. Also, guys, sneak peek, we are going to be live 2 days this year. Me and Mark are probably going to do the first day of round one, and then I'm going to be live the next day, Friday, from a private island. So that should be a lot of cool fun there. Yeah, private island. So,
I think you have to say which island, because people will think the other bad island that
oh, no,
uh,
it's just a resort, but yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun.
yeah, like, draft's always fun.
Yeah.
It's that is our drama show.
And we'll get guests on there and everything like we have before. So it's not just us talking nonsense. So
Charles Jensen. Oh.
yeah, yeah,
Oh, yes, I love it. I love it.
yeah. Okay, I won't say it again.
Idiot. Oh, but no,
Yeah.
so let's see, any other free agencies? Yeah, like, you truly expect Antoine Winfield Jr. done this week
Well,
before
I think he's gonna get the tag regardless. I mean, it's either gonna be a new deal tomorrow or he's gonna be on the tag. So the tag deadline is at 4 o'clock tomorrow. So we'll find out pretty soon. I think that's what they're working on right now. And then once that is finalized, again, full attention will go to Baker and they'll get Baker signed pretty quickly.
Farouk
So
Wahb wants you trashed for
yeah,
every
I know.
race you've taken one shot.
Oh God. That would be a lot of fun. I don't know how long I can make it, but that would be great. Yeah.
Oh gosh,
Yeah.
it'd be a special type of live stream.
Right, right, for sure. That would be, man, we'd be going back to the Super Bowl live stream
Yeah,
when we were wasted so
I think
bad.
the Saints one, that was bad.
Oh, yeah,
The
yeah.
Saints, I couldn't believe, I was like, about that was almost our Super Bowl right there. beating the
Right.
Saints. I was like, "Oh, heck, we got it. We got this in the bag."
Yeah. Yeah, it was a lot of fun, a lot of fun. Yeah, you guys wanna see something funny, go back and watch those shows. So, yeah, that was great. Right in the backyard of Mark's
Wow.
house, so
Fire pit in the back.
yeah, yeah, we had the setup. It was a good time.
It was a
So,
Super Bowl run. We had to.
yep, yep. Yep, we're gonna have those hopefully in the future here soon because Mark's done some renovations, so it should be nice.
Right? It's all
Yeah.
hey, you made renovations to
Yeah,
the
yeah,
suite.
yeah, I know. I gotta still keep adding, but we're getting there.
It's all good times, like Farouk Coop says. And
Yep, yep.
JC Allen, I
What's up,
love your
JC?
reporting. I love it. Keep it up.
Yep.
I wanna see you come out with the first Antoine Winfield sign back. Let's hear it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And please don't reference the bag. I can't stand that quote. I'm tired of
Yeah.
it. I don't wanna hear it no more. He
Yeah.
got the bag.
Yeah, JC's got, his son in football now, so
Oh,
he's playing 3 tech and I think what is it,
really?
JC left tackle as well, so he's playing the big time positions. And, I think he had Logan Hall out there helping his son, so that's pretty cool.
He's learning that swim.
Yep,
Learning
swim
that swim
moves.
move. Hey, if he's
Yeah,
gonna teach him one thing, you better teach him that because he's got a pretty good one.
yep, yep. So it's awesome, awesome stuff. But yeah, I mean, this is just again, it's a celebration tonight. I mean, just getting Mike Evans back, I think, is just huge for the future of this franchise. And it's not just what Mike means to the team, it's just what it means for everyone. Just it helps out everyone in that organization. Evans got the bag. you,
Hey,
you set that up. Uh
oh,
but yeah, this is just a great day, and it starts everything right moving forward. So
like, I'm thinking trash bag, I'm thinking Chanel bag, I'm thinking so many stupid bags. Like, I just hate that quote. Like,
yeah,
it's gotta get moved on. Gotta get or the kids these days saying the dumbest things. Like, I don't know,
yeah,
but it is what it is.
yeah.
I'm sounding like an
What
old man now. Damn.
what do you feel about Money in the Bank?
That's almost older. That's older type.
I know that's a wrestling reference there.
It is what it is, right?
Got the Brinks.
That's better. I like that. I do
Yeah,
like that one.
back up the Brink truck.
Yes,
Yeah,
I'll take that all day, every day.
yeah, that's
Over,
awesome.
he got the bag. I hate it when I hear like an old man say it too. I'm like, it sounds even worse.
Yeah,
Ugh, but
yeah, funny times.
it is what it is.
Oh man, but yeah, I mean,
Cut the check. Yes, I'll take that.
cut the check. Yeah.
Game
Oh my
on
gosh.
fleek. Please stop. No, the show's turned left. It's turned left in a bad way.
Oh man, yeah, we went off the rails right now. But yeah, guys, if you're just joining us, do us a favor.
Yes.
Hit
Yeah, wait.
Wait,
Yes.
everyone's got that Quan. Oh, okay.
Yes. I'll
Oh,
take that.
Jeremy Maguire. Yeah, I love it. Um, yeah, he does have the Quan. But hit that like button. Show us love. What do you guys think of the Mike Evans deal? It's awesome to have all you guys in here showing support. But we appreciate all the likes. Helps out the video algorithms and helps out YouTube. So thank you guys so much, and we'll continue to have a lot more content like this moving forward, especially as we get closer. Free agency and draft, all that good stuff. So should be a lot of fun.
No, and we can use "Let the Big Dog Eat."
Yes.
That I like that one. That
Mm,
one's timeless. So
right.
let's keep it up with that one.
Yeah, absolutely. Great movie as well.
That's all I have. Just movie quote.
Yeah, all movie quotes. That's what we're about here. So if you got a good movie quote, we're all about it. Um, so I mean, so with Mike Evans back, obviously in the mix, now it's going to be focused on Antoine and the other big time free agents, Baker Mayfield. But I mean, is there any positions where we could see this team obviously attacking free agency? I know we talked about the edge group that's coming out in free agency, but again, that's going to command higher dollars. So really, I know I mentioned Dorrance Armstrong as being a potential fit. You look at, tight end position. I know JC's talked about Gerald Everett, from the Rams. Um, any guys that come to mind that we're thinking about? I mean, obviously, you just could talk about positions. I think they're going to sign a veteran safety. I think that's going to happen for sure. Yeah,
Because I'm really intrigued by the moving Christian Izien to strong safety and
right.
then finding a
I feel they're going to bring a veteran safety in just to
oh, okay.
have that competition.
I mean, if you look, there's a glutton of safeties out there too.
Right, right.
Like I know Todd Bowles' scheme, it's difficult to learn. So,
Mhm.
but then again, look what we did last year. We all
Yeah,
thought it would be a seamless transition for
Ryan Neal.
Ryan Neal, and
Mhm.
boy, was that not. Yeah,
Yeah,
right? I mean, yeah, when he played linebacker, it was simplified, so, okay, cool.
right,
It just shows how smart the safety has to be and how damn good Antoine Winfield Jr. is that he
right.
picked this damn thing up so fast and ran with it. So, I mean, yes, I don't think we're going top dollar at all.
Mhm.
Will it be a nice veteran? Yes, hopefully. But will it be a caliber that could potentially be a starter? I don't know, like, I haven't really looked at the guys that have been in his scheme
Mhm.
before, that he's
Yeah,
coached before, but I know there's
that's yeah,
yeah.
that's a good name right there, Austin Hooper. I would just love to say Hooper all the time.
Hooper.
So, yeah,
You got Hooper?
yeah.
Put that thing in front of you, buddy. Well, I mean, he's got some speed. I mean, at least a guy that can
Yeah,
push the seam a little bit. I mean, everyone's gonna
right.
want Noah Fant, Gerald Everett, just because 'cause they're
Yeah,
time in the scheme,
athleticism.
right?
Yep, yep.
Speed they bring, but, I mean, Mike Gesicki is one other guy that I like a lot. Like, it's mainly
Mhm.
the tight ends. I think someone said running back too. I agree with that.
Yep.
Does Chase Edmonds come back, or do we I just always say draft one late. I mean, you still
Mhm,
have Sean Tucker, you don't know what he's gonna get out of that. Me,
mhm.
I'm just thinking safety, nickel corner, tight end, running back.
Yeah,
AB guard if you don't draft one.
yeah, I mean, it is. I mean, an edge, all these positions. So all the positions that the Buccaneers need, there's good depth at it in both areas, whether it's draft or free agency. So I could definitely see where you can add, a veteran here or there at those spots just to have as a supplement, just in case, maybe a draft pick doesn't work out. Because I feel like they will try to double dip a little bit, where you get a free agent at that position and then draft it as well later on. It really just depends, I guess, on the quality of that free agent that they can get. If they feel this guy can come in and start right away, and be a serviceable or even an upgrade, then obviously you probably go with that veteran. But I just know in the past Jason has done that before, right? He's did it with Vernon Hargraves draft where he drafted him, brought in Brent Grimes. Um, what's the other ones? I just know he's brought in like certain positions where, and then also drafted like Matt Filer. You brought him in, and then they drafted another guard. So,
Yeah.
like, there's opportunities there to have that happen again.
I mean, yeah, I mean, it just doesn't hurt, right? Like he's
Right.
mentioned, depth. Like just
Yeah.
having I mean, there's a guy at safety, Xavier McKinley, came out of college, highly rated. Now you don't
Hmm.
really hear about him because of his bad tenure at the Giants. Does he
Hmm.
ignite his career somewhere? Like I liked Jabril Peppers big time.
Yeah.
Didn't do anything in the Giants or the Browns, right?
Yeah.
And now he's making a home for himself in the New England, I think it is.
Hmm.
Right. So I mean, you can get guys that, yeah, they look like shit in another team. You bring them to a better culture, better
Hmm.
players surrounding them, simplify what they do. Let's see what
Right.
happens. But
Yeah.
safety is
Yeah.
probably an area where
Great movie there. I love Draft Day. Definitely watching that the day before the draft for sure.
could you imagine
Um,
trades like that though?
oh man. Yeah. Yeah. Vontae Mack, Hall of Famer. Stud right there.
Stop.
Definitely better than Bo Callahan. Also, rest in peace, Vontae Mack, because that was played
Right?
by Chadwick Boseman. So, R.I.P. to Black Panther. Um, so yeah, great movie though. I love Draft Day, even though it was not real at all. I love it. Just a lot of fun.
No matter what.
There you go.
Yes. Daquan, no matter what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gardner Minshew to back up Baker. I don't know if they could I don't know if they'll go out and like spend actual money to get a backup in here. Probably just going to roll with Trask and John Wolford, maybe a draft pick. We'll see how it plays out. But um,
One more thing. So, like,
mhm,
edge. Do you really think we're going to go out and get one, or do you think Jason's going to rely on his guys that he drafted
mhm,
or picked up? Because, like, if you bring in another one,
yeah,
I mean, Shaq's gone. Did you cut
right,
Shaq because you're going to try and bring someone in, or you're confident enough in
yeah, and there's
Marquise
y-
Watson, Jose
yeah,
Ramirez?
yeah, and there's always the possibility they could bring, maybe they could bring Shaq back,
Yeah,
after,
absolutely.
later in the offseason. I know JC was telling me that the other day, that could be a potential move. But I think there's a good group. It's a good group in free agency to go after. It just depends on that price point. Like I like Dorrance Armstrong. I think he would be a very good move if you could get him for 8 to 9 million. I think that would be worth it. Um, maybe you can find some of these other guys like I think it's what's his name, Mike Dana from Kansas City. I think would be interesting. Um, Josh Uche we talked about from New England. I think he would be fun. It's really just about what they want to find. I mean, you just got to find ways to get after the quarterback. That's the biggest thing. The 4-man pressures has to be improved. So if you can find a guy that shows good production and be consistent as far as getting after the quarterback, I think that's what they're going to try to go after. Now, could they do that in the draft and find someone? Like they could. I really like Marshawn Nealon as like a day 2 guy. I think he would be cool. Um, but again, you're counting on a rookie, and like how much production are you going to get it from a rookie? You're not always going to get the 7 sacks that you got from Yaya Diaby, in his first year. So it's like how much are you going to put on someone like that? Unless you're getting, like we said, unless you're getting like a Latu from UCLA or a Jared Verse. Okay, sure, yeah, we can roll with those guys. Um, but I think free agency would probably be the way to go if you're going to get someone to come in and start right away, and be effective.
Yeah, I'm gonna give away what my draft crush is right now. What I've
Mhm.
talked plus about nonstop at the end of this
Yeah.
live stream. Johnny
Mhm.
Newton. If you guys haven't looked up that guy, defensive tackle out of Illinois, could you just imagine Vita Vea's big ass in the middle of the line? You have two defensive tackles. They're extreme athletes, quick off the ball, violent, and Cansey and Johnny Newton
Mhm.
attacking. I think it'd be not. Wouldn't even matter who the hell's on the outside linebackers. They're going to get
Right.
singled. It's just go towards the quarterback. You
Mhm.
don't have to do much. If you have that much crashing in the middle, violence, speed, guards and centers running into each other, I just think that's like an ultimate hurricane tornado happening.
Mhm.
Outside, because I mean that's what we're trying to generate, right? This Cardinals defense from Todd Bowles old to what he's trying to bring here. It was always A gap blitzes, get the big defensive tackles. Now he's changing it to okay, no, now I'm going to get it faster,
Mhm.
more agile, but still the focus is in the middle of that defense. Cansey
Yeah.
was a prototype. Logan Hall was the same thing. We're trying to get speed, fast, get after the quarterback. Logan Hall just hasn't turned into that. I mean,
Mhm.
if you look at Johnny Newton just for 5 minutes, you're like, holy shit, this guy's good. This guy's going
Mhm.
high, but then you don't hear his name at all because everyone's looking at receivers, offensive linemen,
Yeah.
quarterbacks. Defensive tackles don't get talked about much. And yeah, good pieces fall.
Mhm.
And his guy's bigger than Cansey, but he's being called small. He's like
Mhm.
6'2", 6'1", 200 pounds or 300 pounds.
Right.
How's that small nowadays? And he's bullying guys. So I don't
Yeah.
know. That is my crush of the draft. And if there's any possible way, and everyone's gonna be, why would you take another defensive tackle? Because he's a pass rusher.
Mhm.
Run stuff. He's a pass rusher. See,
Yeah,
that's
he's a disruptor, so you always want that, in your front because that's the name of the game. It's also interior pressure, which is very important. The only thing with Newton is you have to unfortunately, one of those guys would have to be taken off the field for pass rushing situations or in nickel situations. Now, I wouldn't put it past Todd Bowles to run a 5-1-5 defense where he has them out there with the edges as well. and you play Levante as your one linebacker, and then you play pretty much all DBs the rest, outside of that.
Especially if you got a safety he liked too, another additional safety.
Right,
Is he
right.
plays like a safety? So
Yeah. Yeah, it's possible. And Newton is really good. I don't expect him to be there at 26. I think there's some teams ahead of us that most likely will pick him up because he is that good. I put him as a top 20 player in this class, and rightfully so. Um, and he'll probably be one of the few defensive players taken in this first round because I think it is going to be heavy on offense. Like you said, with the quarterbacks, offensive tackles, receivers, one tight end going with Brock Bowers. So yeah, I mean, he would be fun. He would also be. I think it would be justified for him to be a part-time player as a first-round pick, because guess what you're building? You're building a depth. You're adding to a strength. You're adding to a rotation, which Todd Bowles likes to do. It also makes, I think, Vita Vea better because he can rest more. Um, and then you can bring him more on, let's say, pass rushing situations. And they've already tried Kalijah Cansey rushing from the outside, which I think they would be fine doing because he's shown ability, especially where he comes from the inside and stunts it, or no, comes from the outside and then stunts inside, so he's shown that ability before where they've done it a lot. And then you put, Yaya out there as a joker and let him run around and make plays. So it wouldn't surprise me at all, like if they took someone like that to help out this defense even more. And you're adding another very talented player. And let's say Vita Vea, is gone in the next couple of years because he's getting up there in age. Like he's going to be 30 soon. I know we don't want to think about that, but you know, he's a big dude. And
a lot
as
of weight,
time
a lot of stress in the body.
yeah, as the time goes on, I mean, you want to find the next guy to take his spot. So yeah, I wouldn't have a problem with, adding someone like that. Now again, you could also make the case there's other positions that maybe be higher on their priority. And yeah, sure, that makes sense too. Um, so we'll just have to see how it plays out. But yeah, I think they're going to find a really good player at 26, or even if they trade down, they'll find someone that really fits what they're trying to do schematically.
And that's the thing is like whenever you hear these tidbits, what they say during the draft or process, you usually
Right.
start giving things away. I mean, Todd
Yeah.
Bowles said, I want to win with four. I want to win my four-man
Mhm.
pressure. Well, I mean, that's kind of giving me a hint. Uh,
Mhm.
but also, I mean, we're gonna bring our guys back. They're already starting to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, then we just got to protect them. I mean, it's a glaring issue. We just got to do that one little thing because that's
Mhm.
also going to help your running game. If you have better protection, you're going to be able to run the ball easier too. But
Mhm.
that brings it to the thing like there's not many big holes in this team. And
Yeah.
there's little things they need to fix, and I think they can be in a prime position to get a guard maybe day two if there's
Mhm.
not an elite one that falls to us on day one,
Yeah.
right? And if there's an edge rusher that happens to fall, or my guy Johnny Newton's there, I'm happy.
Mhm.
Because those are fixing two big holes, big starters quickly, and
Yeah.
immediate impact player, hopefully.
Yeah, for sure. And I think you talk about adding and building on what your weaknesses were last year and trying to improve those. I think also you're expecting internal growth from our rookies. You're expecting internal growth from our younger part of the team. Your second and third year players continue to take steps forward and get better. So I think that is something. Putting mayo on his pizza. Yeah, definitely. um, but yeah, I mean, it's just you want to see these guys take forward into this season coming up, and hopefully you can do that, but also add to the roster and build said depth that Jason Light is trying to achieve. And guess what, guys? How you do that? You sign back Mike Evans, and that was a huge step today. And moving forward, it should be a lot of fun to watch this team and see what their game plan is, how they attack this offseason. So that should be a lot of fun. With that said, hope you guys enjoy this show. Be sure to hit that like button. Give us, help us support this channel. We appreciate all the likes, all the comments in here. You guys are awesome. Usual cast of stars in here. So really fun to see you all. But yeah, this is an awesome Monday. I mean, I was not expecting to hear this news this morning, and I was working, and all of a sudden I look at my phone. I'm like, what is this? I'm like, what? Mike Evans signed back. I was like, all right, here we go. This is awesome. So yeah, it was a great time. And again, appreciate all the support, guys. Mark, any last words before we get out here? Looking forward to just another great week of Bucs content.
Yeah, just let's hope for more signings. Let's hope free agency is just a slow roll because we already have the guys we want, right?
Right.
And let's look forward to this draft. But Winfield, Baker, come on home. Levante, just come on back. Come on back.
Yep. Come on back. Come on back. So, yep. With that said, guys, we're going to get on out of here. Hope everyone has a great night and a great week. And go Bucs as always. See you on the next one.
Woo!